How's it going, buddy?
Let's go. I'm so excited.
Let's go. Let's go. So I am insanely excited. Again, it's a bit different for me. Usually we're in the podcast studio, Jason and I. So we're doing it on our podcast cloud. But man, I have been losing sleep over this episode, Nigel. Have you?
Me too. Me too. Same here.
So everybody's kind of wondering, like, who is this handsome guy? And I know they're not talking about me, Nigel. So Nigel Wong, good friend of mine. We've known each other now for we're about 9 months, 10 months.
Around
Known each
there.
other
Yeah.
a while. So Nigel, you are one of our absolute rock star coaching students here at Sims Coaching Systems. And it's funny when you and I met. So you're over in Ontario, the beautiful town of Toronto. So you're just outside, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm in Markham. Ontario.
You're in
So
Markham,
just
so
north of
right
Toronto.
close, right close. So it's funny when you first came to us, you were a coaching student. You had done 5 deals the previous year, and you had said to me, we started talking about our goals, all that kind of fun stuff. And I remember one goal stuck out. One goal stuck out in my head, Nigel. Do you know what goal I'm talking about?
Yes, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
What was it?
I want to get on your podcast.
You wanted to hey, and you know what? It took almost a year, but here we are. So a lot of people are kind of like, all right, well, guy did 5 deals in 2022. Why is he on your podcast right now? Nigel, your goal was to hit Icon with EXP.
Right.
We are so close, my friend. We are so
Very
close. We're coming down to the wire. So you went from doing 5 deals as a part-time agent to doing 20 deals as a part-time agent. And you also have a beautiful family. You have a whole world of outside of EXP. You're an accomplished musician. Man, you got it all. So for anybody who does not know Nigel Wong, tell us about you, my friend.
Well, so I got my license in 2020. And then at that time, I really had no idea what I was doing. First year, I only did 1 deal. COVID didn't help, obviously. And at the end of 2020, I got my first deal. That was actually from a friend. He is moving back from Hong Kong to Toronto. So I actually helped him find his home remotely. He was still in Hong Kong. We were doing all these like video showings and stuff like that. We got into a multiple offer situation. I was able to lend him that house. And after that, like I got a lot more confident. And then I feel that I can really make this work, right? So in 2021, I decided the brokerage that I was with no longer can support me. I was not learning. So that's why I joined EXP. I feel that EXP can give me a lot more support and training. And then and my business started to pick up.
So let me ask you, let me just pause you for a sec, Nigel.
Sure.
So it seems like that one brokerage, not a lot of support, not a lot of training. What did you get versus what you were actually looking for?
So, like looking back, I really hope that I get that brotherhood kind of feeling. Like I feel that in this business, like some people, they would approach it as if like everyone is your enemy. And I don't think that's the right approach. I think you should look for like right-minded individuals and then build a band of brothers around you so that you can succeed. And then that's what I was looking for, joining EXP. And then fast forward to 2022 in October, I went to EXPCon, the conference. I was not really sure about going because like it costs a lot of money. And at that time, like I was not doing a lot of business. So I talked to my sponsor, John Tobleris, great guy, great realtor in Toronto. And then he encouraged me to go. So that really helped me. That going to that conference really changed my mindset, make me believe that I can actually make it work. After that, I came back and then I started to be a lot more active in terms of social media, telling everyone about my business, stuff like that. And then towards the beginning of 2023, that's how I came across your podcast. And then what you guys talked about really resonated with me. Like I like your approach. It's a more personable approach. and I think that lines up with my personality as well. So I actually know about Jason like for a while now, because I'm with Eric Preston's
Mhm.
lead gen stuff, and then you guys are partners, right? So, but at that time, I feel that, hey, you guys in Vancouver, you guys in BC, you guys have no idea what's going on in Ontario. So I really didn't um, think about like getting you guys as my coach, but
Mhm.
listening to your podcast really kind of got me over the hump and feel that, hey, I really feel that I want to go back to the basics. I want to learn how to succeed as a real estate agent, um, by going back to the basics. I mean, I'm a tech guy. I'm coming from a technical background, so obviously I'm heavy into lead gen, online lead gen, stuff like that. But if you can convert them, right? Also,
Mhm.
there's nothing good about having lots of leads. You
No,
have to
for sure,
convert
right?
them
And that's
also.
and that's the trick, because a lot of people sit on them and they're like, "Well, I got like 4,000 leads, 5,000 leads," but again, if you don't know how to convert, it's you get the square root of nothing.
Right.
So let's go back to those first couple of years in real estate. So 5 deals last year.
Yeah.
So where did those deals come from?
Referrals. There was one from online leads. Mostly referrals, talking to people, uh, like people that I know, people like
Mhm.
that, and then yeah, and I think most people did really well in 2020 22, and then I did a lot of like leases, because
Mhm.
I'm from Hong Kong myself, so there are people coming from Hong Kong that I help get them leases, which I very happy about, because like coming to a new country, I'm glad that I was able to be a part of the journey in terms of finding the right home, and
Mhm.
I think that's important.
So what were some of the biggest struggles in those first couple of years?
I think it's just like I'm kind of all over the place. Like I have no plan. I'm kind of like winging it. Like I have leads, so I call them. Like I kind of
Yeah.
have a script that I follow, but I was not consistent. I'm not calling my leads every day. Some days I don't feel motivated. So it's okay. I mean, calling is not going to make a difference.
Mhm.
Uh, it's just not a good mindset. It's just not a good mindset overall. It's just feel I didn't feel motivated. I didn't
Mhm.
feel that I can make it. Like I
You know,
kind of
it's
kind of just
it's funny, man.
supplementing my full time job and stuff like that. Yeah,
It's funny. You said to me, I'm actually going to disagree. I'm going to push you back on something, Nigel. Is you
sure.
said, you know what, I motivated, right? Like there's nobody sort of like motivating me. Man, you're a motivated individual. I truly believe that you are insanely motivated. I'm going to challenge you outside of that paradigm. I think you are lacking inspiration. I think nobody was helping you inspire that will to win, because I it is very rare that I come across somebody as motivated as you. I think
Really.
you intrinsically have that. The very first time we talked, you said, "I'm going to get on your podcast. I'm going to be an icon agent." It wasn't like, "Okay, so what are you thinking?" "Well, I think maybe I could." You're like, "No, this is what I need. I need somebody to help me get there. I need inspiration. I need structure, process, and everybody needs a little bit of discipline, right?" So I think that there's a big difference between motivation and inspiration. I think somebody can, because I can't motivate anybody. I can't. You can't. None of us can, right? And I remember my dad back in the '80s working in car dealerships. He always used to talk about motivating his team. It's such like a '80s concept that you're going to go motivate somebody, right? Either someone's going to show up motivated or they're not. And you always showed up motivated. So for you to even sort of do 5 deals, see there's such a disparity between where you are and where you want to go, I think you were lacking the inspiration. So let me put it back on you. What did you do prior to coming and hanging out with us? What did you do to maintain that level of motivation?
I think I think the most important thing is I'm starting to see some results that really
Mhm.
help, right? So once I started, uh, because at the beginning, like I wasn't even comfortable in front of a camera. Like before I went to EXPCon last year,
Yeah.
when I came back, I was like, okay, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna put out some content. I'm gonna film myself. The more I do it, the more comfortable I became, and
Mhm.
and things started to pick up. And then also, I think around March last year, March this year, actually. Like everything seems like so long ago, but it's actually not that long ago. So
Yeah.
I'm very thankful that I hired a assistant to help me with my social media. So all I have to do is film, and then I just upload it. She edited it for me. So I sent her a description, and she posted for me. So I don't have to do so many things. So there's way less friction in terms of me posting consistently. I think that is very important. And once I become super consistent in terms of posting, a lot of people starting to reach out to me. It can be random people. It could be agents. It could be friends that I've known for a long time.
Mhm.
Like I just recently got a referral from someone that I knew way back in Vancouver. I came from Vancouver, right? And then she actually referred me to her aunt to sell her home.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to her in ages, but because of me being so active on social media, she knows the work that I'm doing. I'm not just a wishy-washy kind of agent. She feels comfortable referring me to her aunt, and I think like a lot of people, they have a lot of self-doubt. They're not sure about, oh, is it going to work, how many leads am I going to get if I start doing social media. That's the wrong
Mhm.
mindset already. Like it's kind of like doing exercise, right? You know, when you go work out, it's gonna work because it's been proven to work. So
Mhm.
stop asking questions, just be consistent and just do it.
Love it, man. And so you've again, there's a lot of people there. I can't believe the amount of COVID agents that I run into. That they're like, I got licensed in 2020. It's like nobody had anything better to do but to go get licensed to sell real estate. So what advice would you give for people who want to get from like that 5 deal per year up to that icon status? Nigel, in your opinion, and it's a very valid opinion because you're there, what do people need to do now?
I think first of all, you have to have the right mindset. Always start with the mindset. If you can't, if you don't even believe that you can make it, then forget it. You're not going to make it, right?
Mhm.
You have to believe that, hey, I am going to do it no matter what, no matter how hard it is. I'm going to put in the hard work so I can, get the business, right? So that's number one. Um, Basically you have to set a target as well, and from that target you kind of work yourself backwards into like daily activities, right? How many calls I'm going to make, how many texts I'm going to send, how many people I'm going to talk to every day, and commit to it. And then don't worry about the result, right? Don't think about at the end of the day and then you say, oh, I didn't make any appointments. No, don't even think about that. It's kind of like working out. You don't check your muscle like every day, but it's just like after a couple of weeks, after a couple of months, you start looking at your body. You say, "Hey, I'm looking pretty good." It's the same thing with your business. It's like you keep doing it, and then also is your mindset is like don't think about money and don't think about deals all the time. You think about the people that you reach out to. You think about, hey, I'm actually making a new friend. You're actually helping people. You're providing valuable advice, and then you never know when that person is going to come back and they would feel that, hey, Nigel is here to help. Nigel is here to provide value, and they would come back to you. And if not, even if not, doesn't matter. I still got a new friend, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's so again, let's kind of like let's add a bit of context here. You're talking about your measurable activities, right? Every day, every day, every day. What are your measurable activities and how do you balance them? And again, I want to make sure we again context, context, context.
Yeah,
You still have a full-time job
right.
and you're going to hit icon. So what are the activities that you feel people need to do if they want to hit that same level as you?
So I think a lot of people, they lose out on the people that they already know, right? So what I do is, because I use WhatsApp, right? So WhatsApp, you can actually run it on your desktop, right? So you can run a desktop, and then what I do is I scroll all the way down to my chat. So those are the people you haven't talked to for the longest time. You
Mm-hmm.
start with that, and then you kind of just text them and say, hey, this is, hey, how's it going? Blah blah blah. This is Nigel. We haven't talked for such a long time. I'm excited to talk to you again. And then, is there anything exciting happening in your life? How you doing? And then obviously, right? There are people that you have some context, you have some history with, right? So like I'm a musician, so some people I actually like play music with, right? Hey, like we haven't played music for a long time. Want to get together and have a gig, right? So stuff like that. It's like you start with that. You just start with 5 tags a day with that. Obviously, I have a CRM. I have new leads. I have leads that are coming back to my website. So I call them every day, at least 10 calls a day, if not more. And also like trying to be very consistent with my social media, like reels. Reels are really important. Like when you go out for showings, if you have your own listings, you talk about like some of the insights that you have with real estate. So recently I made a reel about the real estate market because like an agent told my clients, now it's not a good time to buy. And I was like really angry. I was like not happy, right? Like, seriously, like how can you say something like that? It's such a blanket statement, right? And then I actually made a video about that. And actually that video got a really high number of views on TikTok, like over 11K of TikTok. And
Wow.
that's all, like it was like, I was pretty excited about that.
Incredible, man.
And the thing is like, you have to be consistent. You never know when you're going to hit that lightning in the bottle. You just have to keep doing it, be consistent. People will see you. Even with new clients, 100% they're going to look you up on Google. 100% they're going to look you up on social media. My next step is to go all in with YouTube as well. So more long-term content. People can look at me as an authority in my market, right? So those are
Love
the
it.
things I want to do.
So lots there,
Yeah.
one thing that we coach to, that we talk about like day one in coaching at Sims Coaching Systems, the very first thing we talk about is we call it the $100,000 text, which is the hey blank, it's your name. What's new and exciting? I
Right.
hope you're staying happy and healthy. Let's connect! Exclamation mark, right? And we talk about people going into their contact list, starting with A and working their way down and making really no bullshit excuse as to why you cannot send that message. If you don't send the message, it's because A, you talked to them in the last, I'd say 14 days, like your mom, dad, brother, sister. But if the other thing is if you don't send that message, delete the name. If you don't know who it is and you're too scared to check up, delete it. Right? It's not worth it. Right? Like just get rid of it. Why have
Yeah.
it? And
Yeah.
so it sounds like you've implemented that in your WhatsApp strategy. And I love how you've gone way, way, way down to the bottom. And then you're kind of sending that same thing. Hey, it's Nigel. What's new and exciting? Hey, love to connect. Let's play music. And I would even challenge you, and I challenge everybody listening, is go into that contact list, and you should have one-to-one. For every text you send out, there should be one entry into your CRM, right? Even if you don't have a last name, John, and then you add your tag, Sphere Text Reach Out, add a copy of your text, just so you have it in there. Because Nigel, you put it so beautifully. You don't know when you're going to hit that lightning in a bottle. You don't know how many times people are going to say, Nigel, it's so funny you reached out to me today. It's so funny. I was just thinking about you. And you're like, wow, I haven't thought about you in like 10 years. Holy crap. But and again, like look at your TikTok, 11,000 views. Like, do you know all those 11,000 people? Well, no, but it's 11,000 sets of eyes that are on you at any given time. You don't know who's watching. So talk to me a bit about, I'd love to hear your perspective on accountability, consistency, and how that fits within like time and priority management. Knowing that, because how many hours a week do you work? You're 40, if I'm not mistaken, pretty damn close.
Yes. Supposed to be.
Supposed to. I don't know if your boss is listening, man. So I just
Let's
want to get you. I don't want to get you fired
let's
today.
cut that part out. Let's cut this part out.
We'll cut that part out. So again, you full-time job. What do you do for priority and time management to stay accountable, to stay consistent, but also again to get those results and to still, show up 5-star employee of the year?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but I think
Oh, I
you
am. I am.
kind of have to look at your whole day, and then you kind of have to look at the activities that you really has to do it during that time. Then you put those things in first, right? And then after that, you kind of fit other activities around it, and then you try to save time as well. And I actually been recently implementing like hiring more assistants.
Mhm.
So, like hiring an ISA to make calls for me, hiring some other people to help me handle the newsletter stuff that I have to do. So I think definitely um, like everyone's limited resource is time. It's not money, right? You can always earn more money, but time, every single one of you, like no matter if you're a rock star or whatever, you only have 24 hours a day. It doesn't matter, right? So
Mhm.
you have to guard your time. And then sometimes you kind of have to remind yourself too, because like at the end of the day, you're tired, you want to relax a little bit, and that's when you tend to waste time. So you kind of have to remind yourself, hey, if you want to achieve the higher goals, you have to push through. Great point about accountability. So definitely joining Sims coaching group definitely help a lot. You guys help me accountable, and and a great thing that happened when I went to the EXPCon, the recent EXPCon in Vancouver, is I met up with another Rockstar agent, Sybil. He's also a student of yours. And he's an amazing guy. He's a great guy. And he's always so helpful. And I got so inspired by him because he also like recently implemented someone to make calls for him, and then now we have a friendly competition to see who can make more deals in the fourth quarter. And
Uh-oh.
then yeah, and we are also thinking, oh, maybe making some contents together, document our journey in terms of this competition, and then
Mhm.
it will be interesting, right? It's kind of like a documentary. People would tune in and kind of look, hey, is Sybil doing better or Nigel doing better? And then it's cool. It's very fun.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of have to play like that conscientious observer, right? Steve-O, it's funny. I've known Steve-O for about 5 years now. Known you for about a year. I mean, consider you both amazing friends. So I think it's so important, that power of proximity. It's all who you know, right? You know, Jason and I say it all the time. Your net worth is determined by your network. And I think, the more people you hang out with, and you said that, like that was one of the first things you said when I said, hey, what was wrong with the brokerage you were at? And you were like, there's no brotherhood, right? Brotherhood, sisterhood, camaraderie, whatever you want to call it. I think that is so, so important, is to feel like you're in that wolf pack, like you're in that like tribe of people all moving together with the same goal in mind. So, man, I love that you were able to find that. And yeah, man, we kind of peer pressured you into flying all the way out and hanging out with us for a few days. And see, it worked out. It worked out.
I'm glad I did. It
Because
was
hey,
it was
man,
a lot of fun.
hey, what did we do on the last day of EXPCon, Nigel? What did we do?
We went to 50 Cent.
50 Cent Busta Rhymes, man. So yeah, we Jason took his family. I took my family. Unfortunately, my son couldn't make it because he was sick. And so good news, bad news, because Nigel, you and I were sitting together at 50 Cent,
Thank
man.
you. No, I remember. I remember you were calling me as I actually had a dinner planned, right?
Yeah, you're like,
And I have to, like, do some juggling and make
yeah,
that
and
work.
I'm not gonna say who it was, but I hope your grandma understood. Man, ditch his grandma to come hang out with us at 50 Cent. Nigel,
Yeah,
you are the man. But hey, again, like it was a once in a lifetime opportunity. I will
for
give it
sure.
that. And man, how dope were our seats? We were right there. So nobody else I would have rather shared it with than you. Man, here's what I want you to leave us with, Nigel. Here's what I want you to leave us with. There are a lot of agents struggling right now. They
Right.
don't have that brotherhood. They don't have the support. They don't have the coaching. They don't have the mentorship. They don't have the accountability. They don't have those networks like you have with like SIBO on the other side of the country. So, what would your advice be to somebody listening to this, going, I did 3 deals last year. I did 3 this year. I'm lost. Where do they go, Nigel?
Well, I think I think finding a coach is really important. Like because you feel that you kind of know everything already. Because like if you've been an agent for a while, you probably heard all the advice. Make the calls, blah blah blah, do all that kind of stuff. But it is very different when you have a coach. It's kind of like I always go back to this example. It's kind of like you go working out, you have all the workout videos on YouTube already, but you don't know what to do. But with
Mhm.
a coach can really guide you, or coaching group can really guide you in terms of, hey, what you need to do next. And then you don't have to always think about, oh, what am I going to do next? But just focus on what the coach telling you to do. And I think that makes a huge difference because, you know, it's kind of like you have a plan to follow. And
Mhm.
I think that's extremely important, right? Find someone that you can talk to. I mean, you can always, like, if you're in the Ontario market, reach out to me. I'd be very glad to share my experience and just talk, right? Just build that brotherhood, right? You never know, like the conversation can lead to.
You never know, man. So we'll make sure all your information is posted below. And Nigel, you're an absolute gem. I mean, you and I have been tight for like almost a year now, and I love every time you post something, you send it to me in like either WhatsApp or I get it on Instagram. But again, that's that continuous commitment to accountability and a commitment to excellence, right? So I love that you've implemented that. So I have one last piece for you, one last question, and I think that this is a really really important question is you've recently, again, over the last like couple months, is you've added leverage to your business. You've got an assistant. You're going to have like an inside sales agent. You've got sort of agents that are looking to follow you in this journey. When did you know it was time to scale up?
Um, it sounds cliche. You just know. You just know that you get to the point where you look at your day, and then you're doing less and less income earning activities. You're doing stupid things, right?
Mhm.
Like when you're doing some things in the middle of the night and you're asking yourself, why am I doing this? Like, can I just get someone else to do this? Then that's when you know that you need to hire someone.
Love it. There you go. You know when you know, according to Nigel Wong. Love it.
Yeah.
Nigel, man, like I said, I get fired up listening to you because, yeah, to me, you are the embodiment of motivation. And that's something that I look up to you for. So there you
Thank
go.
you.
And
That
I
means a
got to
lot.
say, man, good friend, amazing, amazing, having you in our sphere. And I look forward to peer pressuring you again to jump on another jet to come hang out with Jason and I, man. Absolute pleasure. Anybody looking to reach out to Nigel Wong in the Markham area, we will post Nigel's contact information below. And again, just feel free to pick his brain. If you're missing that brotherhood, this is the guy that you need to be talking to. So with that, Nigel, hey, podcast in the books.
Thank you, Joe.
Love you, brother.